Welcome and hello from Alex, with a story from r/Today I Messed Up, where a simple Teams meeting turned into a cringe-inducing moment after I accidentally unleashed a frustrated outburst about my calendar mishap to the entire group. Coming up next is a story from ospreyguy. Today I fucked up by yelling into my Teams meeting, Jesus Christ, check my fucking calendar. I was not on mute. Title covers it. Thought I was on mute and was not. Someone was messaging me on the side asking if I could meet at certain times. My very limited free time is on my calendar. I yell in pure frustration, Jesus Christ, check my fucking calendar. The meeting got really quiet and I realized what happened. Just gave a little sheepish my bad. Thought I was muted and went silent. The person I was yelling about messaged me on the side and apologized, which made me feel even worse. I apologized and said it was very unprofessional. I tried to explain how I am really stressed with deadlines. I am, and was venting, but I still feel like a total ass, which is accurate. This was a smaller group of decent people, so I don't think anyone will complain to my boss or anything like that. I just get to live with my embarrassing fuck up. Oh man, that's rough. Yelling at your computer screen in a meeting is peak frustration moment. But accidentally broadcasting it live. Oof, silver lining, at least it was a small group. Honestly, though, I wouldn't sweat it too much. We've all been there in some form or another. Plus, check my FC King calendar might become the new passive-aggressive way to say I'm booked solid, buddy. Just picture it on a coffee mug. Coming up next is a story from OKMarket284. Today I fucked up by being in the bathroom for so long that the restaurant thought I had dined and dashed. I went to a Chinese buffet against my better judgment. Ate my food. It predictably opened my bowels right up because the fat content couldn't really hold it and wait for the bill. So, I grabbed my stuff because I didn't want it out in the open when I'd be in the bathroom a while. Apparently, the waitress only saw me load my stuff up and then just disappear when she looked back. I got done taking a long shit and came out to them talking to the police. They saw me. I talked to the cops. They got called for a dine and dash and showed up cause it's a slow day. Explained the situation to them. They asked why I had taken all my stuff with me. I told them it was because I knew it would be a while and didn't want anything stolen. It was lighthearted. The cops, waitress, and me had a laugh. I paid my bill and left. Oh dear, that's a doozy. Chinese buffet roulette strikes again. In my mind, the image of a person leaving the restaurant with that gotta go look while clutching their belongings is hilarious. But then to come out to flashing lights, yikes. At least everyone saw the funny side in the end. Just a tip for next time. Maybe leave a non-essential item like a napkin or something on the table as collateral for your speedy return. Unless, of course, that napkin gets mistaken for a white flag of surrender. Coming up next is a story from Dizzy Explanation 81. Today I fucked up trying to deposit a $10 coin to my bank. I found a coin in my childhood room that was marked as being Roth $10, put it in my jacket pocket and headed back to my apartment. The next day I walked to my bank to exchange some euros for dollars and figured I might as well deposit the coin too. When I asked the teller if he could deposit it for me, he said, "Oh, you really don't want to do that? A quarter ounce of pure gold. It's worth a hell of a lot more than $10. He pointed me to a rare coin, gold shop a few blocks away and told me to bring it to them. I ended up selling it for $549 in cash, walking back to the bank, depositing it into my account and thanking the teller. Wow, what a lucky break. Finding a hidden treasure in your childhood room is like something out of a movie. And then for the bank teller to recognize it for what it was. Double win. Sounds like the universe was handing you a gift that day. Although, knowing my luck, I'd probably walk around with that coin in my pocket for weeks before even noticing it. Here's to hoping your newfound wealth brings you good fortune. Coming up next is a story from peepzfeelz, and if you like the video so far, don't forget to like the video. It only takes a second and helps me out a lot. Today I fucked up by filing down my own front teeth. Am I stupid? Probably. I, 18 male, was flossing my teeth yesterday night and realized something. My front teeth are quite long, based on the ratio compared to the ones next to them and my lips, and make my bottom teeth basically invisible when I smile. Low-key like a horse. My bite is good and my teeth are straight, so I figured all that needed to happen was to shorten them. A Google search revealed that it costs around $50 to $300 each tooth to get them filed down a little. I figured I could probably just do that myself. I have pretty bad insomnia and got maybe 8 hours of sleep this entire week so far, so maybe I am not in my best state of mind. But I needed to magically become vaguely more good-looking, so on a search for a nail filer I went. I found one of those metal ones in the bathroom, tested it on a fingernail, it works. So, I aligned it with my front teeth, both at once because I didn't want to be uneven. And I just started going back and forth, I guess. Successfully shaved off a bit. It was going really well and already looking better, but I still wanted them a tiny bit shorter. Might have gotten a bit carried away. I filed off a tad more and then my right tooth felt like it got struck by lightning. Super intense, weird zapping pain. I was super freaked out and went to take a close look. No blood or anything. Noticed my teeth are the perfect length and a nice square shape now. But then I went and rinsed my mouth with lukewarm water, exact same sensation. Did I fuck up a nerve or something? I try to ignore it, but even just licking my teeth with my tongue causes a shooting, throbbing feeling in one of entitled mother. So fucking disgusting. Even worse when I touch it with my finger or whatever. I've never had a cavity or any dental work done, so I am not 100% sure whether this is normal and will just go away on its own. I can't tell anything is unusual on the outside, so it probably will. Not sure what I did wrong, cause dentists probably do the same thing. Can I try to brush them now? I didn't this morning, to see if that improves it, I guess. Wow, talk about taking matters into your own hands, or teeth, rather. It's like do-it-yourself dentistry gone wrong. Filing down your own teeth sounds like something out of a horror movie, but you turned it into a comedy of errors. At least now you've got a unique conversation starter. Want to hear the time I gave myself an impromptu dental procedure? Just be careful, you might end up with a cameo in the next Jackass movie. Coming up next is a story from CircleOrZero. Today I fucked up coming home early without telling my parents. I was supposed to be on a plane that would have landed today. However, I managed to get an earlier flight yesterday. An earlier flight I decided not to tell my parents about. They were still under the impression that I was gonna come home later this afternoon, and I let them believe that because I wanted to surprise them. This is what happened when I showed up unexpectedly. An Uber dropped me off at my parents' house. I approached the front door, knocked, dropped my bags, and then prepared to be embraced with warm hugs as soon as my mom and dad saw me standing on the porch. My plan to surprise my parents backfired when I locked eyes with the woman who answered the door. She was not my mother. She looked young enough to be my girlfriend, but she was not my girlfriend. She was apparently my dad's girlfriend. Her foreign accent made her English sound like another language, but I understood the girlfriend part and her trying to explain to me that my dad was upstairs in a Zoom meeting. I asked if she knew my dad was married and she casually said yes. I was flabbergasted. My mom was nowhere to be seen and my dad's so-called girlfriend seemed to have no idea where my mom was. The thought of my dad cheating on my mom upset me so much that I stormed into his office and confronted him during his Zoom meeting. I wanted him to tell me what the fuck was going on, starting with the random girl hanging out in our house while mom was gone. My dad said he would explain everything after the Zoom meeting and then made me leave the room. I called my mom in the meantime, but she didn't answer her phone. My dad's girlfriend, who was eating cereal at 2 o'clock in the afternoon while watching Netflix in the living room, waved at me when she saw me going to my room. I faked a friendly smile and awkwardly waved back before shutting the door to my room. My mom called me back moments later and apologized for not answering her phone earlier. I interrupted my mom mid-apology and made her aware that dad was cheating on her with a girl who was literally eating our cereal as we spoke. My mom paused long enough for me to eventually ask her if she was still there. When my mom finally said something, it was to inform me of the following. She was seeing someone else too, her own cereal guy. She was actually with him at that moment. She said I was never supposed to find out like this, but she was in an open marriage with my dad. I was speechless. By the time my dad knocked on my door and asked if he could talk to me, I knew what was coming. I said I spoke to mom and she explained what was going on. My dad confirmed what my mom said and did his best to convince me that seeing other people somehow made his marriage more meaningful because the other people will always be other people, whereas his wife will forever be the one. Just not the one and only. I apologized for barging in during his Zoom meeting and calling him a cheater. My dad accepted my apology if I promised to avoid showing up to the house without warning because I might end up visiting mom and dad on open marriage day, like I did yesterday. What was supposed to be an innocent surprise turned into an unexpected day in the life with my parents and their partners. Well, talk about a surprise party gone wrong. Imagine coming home early to surprise your parents, only to find out they have surprises of their own. It's like walking into a soap opera plot twist. Guess the family reunion got a little more complicated than expected. I wonder if they have bring your other significant other to dinner nights. It's like a sitcom waiting to happen. Coming up next is a story from Haunting Artichoke 830. Today I fucked up by going through my company's dumpster. This happened last year, but having settled into a new job where I am happy, I feel like I can finally post this. I work for a company that has a large bin specifically for used electronics, sometimes not even used. They will throw out items that are still not even opened and still in original packaging. After having worked at this company for 3 years, my sister dropped by to grab lunch and I showed her around the office. We get to the recycled dumpster and she asks what it is and I tell her that's where we put old electronics. There is a computer mouse, still unopened, and she asks if she can take it and I tell her not a problem since it's there to be disposed of. Employees grab things from their time to time if there is something good. She takes it, we go grab lunch. A week passes by and I get called into a meeting with my boss and HR manager saying they have footage of me stealing company property and I ask them what they are talking about. They play the recording of me and my sister at the bin and her grabbing the computer mouse. Apparently, it's against company policy to take things from the electronics bin, but they usually let it slide for employees. But because I let a non-employee take stuff from there, it was an issue. What preceded was a month-long HR investigation, during which time I did my job as normal. After which I was informed I was being terminated. Thankfully, after about 2 months of being unemployed, I found another job with better pay and better work environment, so it ended up working out. Wow, dumpster diving for electronics. That's some next level office supply shopping. Gotta hand it to Opie's sister, though, with the eagle eye for a brand new mouse. On the bright side, sounds like that whole ordeal turned into a lucky break. Who knew a trash bin Robin Hood move would lead to a better job? Maybe Opie should write a guide, From Fired to Fabulous, How My Sister's Mouse Addiction Landed Me a Dream Job. That wraps up r/today I messed up. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to visit my Spotify channel, link is in the description, so you can listen to the best Reddit story while being outside, and remember to hit that subscribe button.